Hello on this beautiful day. I've been sitting with creativity for the past couple days because something is changing with that, with the creative process, the creative expression, creation. In my life, I found myself doing this 100-day creative challenge. And pretty much at the same time, I'm joining this creators group. Everybody's working on different projects, but the group is about creativity, creative the creative process. And it dawned on me, there's something going on. Creation is gaining momentum in a different way that I'm familiar with, or the way I perceived it, or I had the ability to perceive, all those things. And so I looked at it, right, in meditation, and this sharing for it to be magical, like it was for me, I'm inviting you to come with me on this journey. I invite you to flow with me in this imaginal. I'm not sure if I'm using it right, but I think I am. Yes, it's the language of images, right? Because we're talking about the subconscious mind. We're talking about symbolisms, a different type of language, but it doesn't mean that it's not real. So I didn't want to use imaginary, even though, we know that the imaginary is real. But anyway, okay. So yeah, flow with me. The image that I got in meditation when I looked at what is going on with this process of creation from the now and the present moment, both. I got this image, and I'm sharing the image because it's always in the translation where the truth or truth becomes the truth, becomes personal. But you're always getting the full answer in a download. The matter is, what capacity do you have to translate that wholeness into wholeness, right? How much can you integrate? And so I'm sharing to the best of my ability the image, and hopefully you can translate within that as well for yourself. So what I got was water overflowing, and the image was so close up that the scale is very difficult to gauge. It could literally be a cup, or it could be a reservoir. The water on top was still, and I know it was a container because it had a lip, and the water was cascading down from it in a very gentle unfolding, I just want to say, right? Because there are some rapids. The rapids were, I know it wasn't a river. There was nothing there to create the rapids. It was more like, look what I can do type of thing. It was almost a still image, except for the water flowing, and that surface level was still, but it was moving. I just know that it wasn't in slow motion. It was just a different gravity. So we're in a totally different system, right? And I feel like the container, even though I know, I don't know the container, I just know there must be a container. It was slightly tilted. It was overflow for sure, but it wasn't an overflow on all direction. It was tilted enough to give it direction, to give it purpose. I wanted to overflow on this side more than on the other side, right? Like, it was very much intentional from which side it was overflowing. That's the only reason why it was tilted. So that was all I got, right? Image wise. Feeling wise, I understood that the overflow meant this creativity is for you foremost. It is for your fulfillment, for your, I'm going to say healing, but healing as in satisfaction, healing as in satiety, whatever the word is, right? A 10 of cups, just like abundance fulfilled, abundance here in the now. And it was almost like the all of you, like every little corner, every little cranny or hidden space of you that before, let's just say, it was difficult to reach. This creative process had an ease about it to reach even those areas of you. It was like that. It was like every thirst that you ever had, it has been quenched and satisfied. The next message, and it was boom, 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 right? Like these are just seconds or whatever. I don't even know. Moments of time. And it was almost like as that moment of time was like, okay, I fully got it. The next moment of time was, this is the new currency. Do you see? And it was almost like, no. I see because you're telling me with such conviction, but no, I don't quite see. And this relates to this other idea that is this exchange of giving and receiving, the way we have been using energy has arrived into this completion. It has obsoleted itself. And even though I know that, and I'm starting to understand that more and more, I did not get the next level of how is this going to be replaced? What is the next level of that now that the giving and receiving has completed? So this image with this overflow was the answer to that question, but I didn't get it quite in that moment. It's like, okay, I see how it is completing the lack, let's just say, where we no longer have to be in this exchange, right? We're working with an overabundance of source energy, of resourcefulness. So I got that part. So the image went away, and I just went into the stillness, reflecting on both the image, the feelings, everything that I was getting. So I was back. This is not new. I've been in this channel. It's just kind of normal. Yeah, I kind of see this channel. It just goes kind of from my shoulders, and I'm in this flow. It kind of really reminds me of, Abraham Hicks's Vortex. And when I used to listen to her, I would have this construct in my mind of how this vortex looks like, and I always thought, well, that's just my construct. It's this imaginary thing. And I know the vortex exists, but the thing that I'm seeing and I'm perceiving, it can't be the vortex that she's talking about, right? It must be something else. I'm just, using my own symbolism. And now I'm like, oh no, that's the vortex. But now it's just that I'm in the eye of the vortex, this channel that I'm seeing. So if I expand into that, or go into the observer effect, it's like, oh wow, the vortex is real, you guys. Like the vortex that you thought it was imaginary, it's just imaginal. Yes, it's an image that is real. Again, I hope I'm really using that word correctly. Anyway, so as I'm sitting with this and in this channel, I become the flow. And I'm so aware that I'm moving in this flow. But when you're moving, with everything else that's moving, it feels like you're very still. So I was very centered, very aligned in this channel. And I could observe the difference, relative velocity, right? Like how other things were moving relative to me knowing that I'm moving and I'm creating momentum with this channel. But I was creating the momentum. It's complex. I don't even know. The flow is there, but the creative process itself would create different velocities within this channel, which will then create, kind of reminded me of the Bernoulli effect, right? As I'm moving and speeding up in this channel, the pressure around this channel is decreasing, right? Because there's an inverse relationship between speed and pressure. And it's because of that pressure. So think, if you need a refresher here, think train is coming into the station. You know not to stand next to that moving train because the difference of pressure that the moving train is creating wants you to pull you into that gap, right? So you're leaving a safe distance and allowing the train to slow down first, right? Before you move into that common airspace. So that effect is being created as you are speeding up within this channel. And you're creating such negative pressure that things in your vortex have no choice but to get sucked in and find the point of matching, connection, and create a snapshot of you. It's kind of like as you are moving through your unfolding, because you now are the field, you are the wave, you are the potential, you are non-local. But when something matches from the outside, it creates this picture in time and space of you. So your creation is actually, this is really complex. So I'm trying my best to linearize it. That which you are creating is done in your image. It is you in that space-time. Now, why are those points of creation very important within this field, within this fabric of reality? Is because that creation solidified as, I'm going to call it the picture, but it could be your art. It could be, an art can be anything, right? That then creates resonance. And I was just watching another video which kind of explained that timelines can only exist if there's enough resonance within that timeline. If all resonating pieces have been undone, have been dissolved, that timeline just collapses. This makes so much sense because to me, it is your creative both flow and snapshots of yourself within that flow, creating anchors of resonance, which is now the new currency, is literally creating this new reality. Is it the new earth that we're talking about? Yeah, sure. Call it whatever. It is literally the new model of perspective, the new mind model, because see, the stuff exists already, but it has to be built within the physical, the mind, the thought process, perception. And every snapshot that is being anchored within this reality creates a solidity, it creates a stability, it creates a whole new reality, but it requires participation from the all. So this video, I feel like, holy cow, this creative flow, if you feel it, understand that you are creating this new reality both through who you are within this creative state, this momentum, and the form that it takes. Oh, got it. This is a lot. There's way more to unfold. So let's talk about this currency then, and this whole new model of value, right? Because again, as a reminder, not that we need it, we're coming from my self-worth is my salary. It is my level of productivity, my level of art, um, uh, buy-in, right? My art is only valuable to whatever understanding of the collective. So this reflection from the collective onto me is telling me my value of myself, right? And we're in this constant exchange. I'm giving myself, and I'm putting myself out there through my work, through my performance, through whatever, and then the collective consensus reflects back to me my worth. And money, right? Like money is a good medium of exchange, symbol, a good symbol of our value system. That's why it's currency, right? But now it's saying, well, the real currency, it's the creative expression. That's the currency. Because you no longer wait to be reflected from the matrix, from this giving and receiving exchange, but you are your own value through what it is that you're creating and anchoring in this reality. And your value is resonance. But resonance comes from how pure, how truthful, how authentic, how sovereign was the process of what you were creating. And because of that, you cannot look at something that was created, let's just say food. I really like that, right? And when somebody goes, I don't know what I'm going to make for dinner. Let me see what I have. Oh, I have these 5 ingredients. What can I make out of it? And it spurs this momentum, and it spurs this creative process. And they cook the meal, they make it all up, and then they go and taste it, and they're like, holy cow, this is really good. And everybody enjoys it. The kids eat it up. And you're like, oh my God, I need to write this down. This is really good. That's the creative process that I'm talking about. Then you want to share with everybody, but you're sharing yourself. You're sharing the energetic signature of you in the flow that you get to see, and it reflects back to you, right? Because the mind is lagging behind. You can only create yourself. Take that snapshot of your creative flow, and when it's done, you're like, oh yeah, this is who I am. So that result, the food in this new reality, holds, even if it's not permanent, an amazing resonance at high currency that maybe, a high valued artist with money art, their art maybe is valued as at millions of dollars, but maybe because they created that art with the consumer in mind, does not actually produce a resonance that can be valuable in the new reality. And that artist doesn't actually anchor, because it cannot. It's when it comes to vibrational structure, it does not hold the currency to be uh, an anchor in this new reality, and its true value is zero. It's funny, whatever the number is of no value. So this brings me to this other point, because in the group, right, we took the discussion, what is your creative process? And we shared into that. But when I sat down and looked at this creative process from the now, I got totally something different, right? That this creative process that I'm talking about can only come from overflow. It will never compromise the integrity of your well-being. So it's almost like, and not that you cannot, you can tap into creative process and take resourcefulness as the cup is filling. But just know that you are creating from less than 100% potential. You're not the flow. You might be in the flow, and you can take resources, and you can use alchemy and exchange, and you can create amazing, beautiful things. But we're talking about something different now. We're talking about this creation where the resourcefulness, the energy is coming straight from source. You're not exchanging anything from you. You're no longer depleted. You cannot be depleted. This is a luxury where you can take as much or as little, and you will affect nothing. When it comes to your well-being, to your energetic, yeah, anyway, you get the point, right? And if that energetic flow is not there, what are you going to do, right? Are you going to wait for it? Or you're going to, yeah, I guess that's another point. I'm just thinking about it, like, what's the application of this? Because I'm seeing it when this overflow is there, the question of how do you get into the flow is not there at all. You're overflowing. You feel to create, and you are so resourceful that you can't say, oh, I want to create this recipe. Oh, but I don't have the ingredients, all the ingredients. So now, it's like an inconvenience. Not, I have to go to the store. Now I have to plan it. Now I have to organize things into coming together. I'm talking about a resourcefulness of, what do I have available right now? Okay, yeah, I'm creating right now, because apparently I must have everything that I need right now. It's a totally different mindset, and I don't have to wait. I don't have to inconvenience myself in any way to create. I can create right here, right now, from this flow that is accelerating, building momentum in my own excitement. Okay, anyway, I think you got it. And so going back to, okay, what if the flow is not there? Are you just gonna keep on waiting? Like, right? This is the application in a very practical way. I think no, you don't have to, but you can still create and do things. But I think what I would say to that is create from non-you. Don't create from thinking that you have to give of yourself. It has to be authentic. It has to be literally an image of you. Just create uh, uh, non-authentically, just so that you're moving. But what I'm saying is create and move into practical without needing to take real power, real resourcefulness. Allow that cup to fill up while you're still enjoying something. If you enjoy art, painting, if you enjoy whatever medium, or cooking, just follow a recipe. Make it simple, make it non-effort while you're enjoying the space until the cup is so full that you're naturally in this overflow. I think that's how we but I don't know, but what do you feel with that? I guess that's what's coming to me, as I haven't really explored that option right until now. So creativity is definitely on the move, and I can so see and understand more and more how our world is changing as we move through a whole new thinking pattern of what even alignment means, right? Because now alignment is not even so much a necessity. You're always aligned. You're in this flow, but is being aware how you're going about it and how you are valuing yourself, right? So if you haven't moved through clearing blockages of not enoughness, perfectionism, things like that, this flow will bring about the next level of clearing when it comes to those items. And maybe that's the process, right? Like the cup has to fill up and has to harmonize on truths, let's just say, right? Where I have to be perfect, I have to be aligned in a certain way before I move forward. That's a really strong belief system, a block that is definitely showing up fairly strongly for me, for example, because simply I have an obsolete model of worth. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be very exciting into creation, creative experiences, creative expressions. A lot of it will fall off as we move through this even into this freedom of creation, right? It's a whole new level of liberation, a whole new level of unconditional love, of creation and exchange. And I don't want to say even exchange, but it's how we're using the resourcefulness. So it'll be quite exciting. So anyway, what are your thoughts on this? This is where I see creative expression right now. I'm high. I'm so high right now. Thank you for joining me. I will see you in the channel, in the vortex.